What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It is that time of the year out here, guys. Winter has decided to go ahead and hit with a little bit of snow the past couple of days. And see, right now, the truck says it's 32 degrees outside, and I think it feels like 29 or something like that. So yeah, it's starting to become a little bit on the chilly side. But with that being said, I want to kind of go over a few different methods of getting into the trucking industry. I've seen a couple of posts on Facebook recently about people wanting to get into trucking into 2024 and you know, just change their financial lifestyle and you know, just better themselves, better than their family. And there was this one post, and he's like, you know, he's talking about, he's 29 years old, I'm 30, so I can relate to that, and he wants to get into trucking. And he's thinking about either paying for his CDL school out of pocket, which he said was $4,000, or going through a training company, you know, such as like CRST, Prime, TMC, places like that. And yeah, I mean, all those are different options, but it kind of just is based off of your lifestyle and what you're wanting to do. So the way I did it was the CDL school route. I paid for the CDL school, went through the class, got my CDL, and then I started out with food service, which was more of a local thing. But if you guys have followed the channel, or even if you're new, you can look back and you can see the food service videos on my channel. I was gone for at least 2 nights out of the week, sometimes 3. Depends on the workload, depends on the hours, you know, whatever. But I started out doing food service because when I was in CDL school, and if you guys are new and you're going to CDL school, this is exactly how it's going to happen. You're going to have days where you're out on the pad, we're training with the trucks, you know, doing maneuvers, stuff like that. And then you're going to have days where you're actually inside the classroom or inside whatever building. Recruiters are going to come talk to you, like from Schneider or all those companies like that. You know, whatever local companies, or not even local, but whatever companies want to travel to, you know, the school that you're in to talk to you guys. We had like TMC, Transland, I think we had Schneider, you know, whatever. But all those over-the-road companies are going to really try to get you from that school to go drive with them and do over-the-road. Because, you know, the major thing that people think about when it comes to truck driving is that you have to start over-the-road and do 1 year over-the-road, and, you know, continue on from that, whatever you want to do. If you want to stay on the road, if you want to go local, whatever the case may be. And for whatever reason, a lot of people, or most everybody, has it in their heads that you have to do the over the road, and that's the way that everybody has to start out. Now, I'm not saying that over the road experience isn't important, you know, because in a sense, you know, it is a major aspect of trucking, but it's not the only trucking jobs that are out there. And a lot of new drivers, a lot of people going through CDL school, sometimes they can get that, you know, kind of confused and you know, think that, you know, over the road, you know, being on the road 100% all the time is the only way to do trucking. So yeah, I started with food service. You know, there's plenty of local food service companies, and they usually take new hires right out of CDL school, which was like me. You know, I was fresh out of CDL school, never driven a semi before, outside of CDL school. They hired me, trained me to do the food service job, and I learned, you know, everything else kind of along the way, and did that. So I did that for a year. You have to, if you're going to get with like a local job like an LTL company, you have to at least have a minimum usually of 1 year truck driving experience, or they won't take you. Some places are like 6 months, but LTL companies like 1 year. So I had to reach my 1 year, so I stayed with PFG for a year, and you know, toughed it out. Even though I did hurt a disc in my back, you know, whatever, toughed it out for the rest of that year and finished that out. Then finally moved over to LTL, which is a whole completely different world of trucking. I mean, there's all sorts. Look out on the highway, you'll see all sorts of different trucking jobs, but you have to know what you want to do. You have to be willing to try new things, and you have to be willing to kind of put in the effort, put in the time. It's not going to be, you know, just super easy to get into. You're going to have to still learn the job. You're going to have to still learn, you know, the ropes of everything, but you just really need to figure out what you want to do. The main point of everything is you do not have to start out doing over the road and staying out for weeks, months at a time, and just, you know, completely hating your life like a lot of people do. Now, there's 2 different types of people. There's people that love the lifestyle, there's people that like the lifestyle, and there's people that cannot do it. And from what I've heard, I've not done the experience at all, but from what I've heard, you pretty much figure that out within your first 3 weeks, or first couple of weeks of training. And I mean, that's pretty much with any job. With the first few weeks, you'll figure out, do I like it? Do I hate it? Is it something I'm going to stick with? Or you just kind of tough it out, kind of like what I did with food service. You know, the first 3 months was brutal, but after that, you know, you get used to it and you kind of start liking it just a little bit, or just enough to continue to push through it. But I knew that that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to move over to LTL and do LTL trucking. Now, let's go back to the CDL school thing. You know, CDL school is not really exactly cheap. For me, it was $3,500. It varies state by state. It varies school by school. You may not be able to afford it if that's what you want to do. And if you can't, there are starter companies like Prime, TMC, places like that that will train you to get your CDL. But you do have to be in that 1 year contract and work for them for a whole entire year before you can move on to something else. Because if you break that contract, chances are you have to pay them back for the CDL training. And again, that's why I did it the way I did, because I didn't want to be stuck in a contract. I wanted to know that if I wanted to leave food service, I can do that and go to something else, you know, but I didn't have to. So yeah, there's plenty of different avenues and different ways to go about it. You just have to find whatever works for you. You got to find what you want to do, and just really go for it. I mean, the whole thing about the CDL is you can think about it all you want to, but until you put the effort in, until you go for it, you're not going to make it happen. It's not going to be something that just happens like that. You do have to put in the work, put in the training, put in the time, and you know, then you're going to earn the CDL, and you'll be able to move up and do whatever it is you want to do. Whether you want to do over the road, you want to own your own truck eventually, you want to do LTL, you know, whatever the case may be, there's plenty of different opportunities, plenty of different options. So don't be afraid to explore your options, ask around, look it up on YouTube, whatever. You know, feel free to ask me in the comments. I will answer any questions I get about how I did it, about how it was, you know, how the process was. You know, whatever you have, comment down below, and hopefully this video helps some of you guys out. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. Follow my social media, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. All be posted down there in the description, and we'll see you all in the next video.